We're on.
Excellent. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Crysalyst Life.
Welcome.
I'm Katrina White.
And I'm Susan Lynne.
Excellent. So today we're going to talk about the importance of journaling.
Journaling. Taking a pen
Yeah.
and writing on a piece of paper, preferably lined, but you could do not lined.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, find a journal that you really like.
Mm-hmm.
And really it could be anything. You might want to be environmentally friendly and just use some scrap papers that you...
Or your computer.
Yeah, you could.
Right? Or your
Yeah,
iPad.
some people do like to write on electronic devices.
They do.
And so whatever gets you into your creative flow.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the point of journaling? What's the difference for you, Kat,
Mm-hmm.
in just thinking things through in your head and in your mind and then writing it down somewhere? What's the process? What's the purpose of journaling?
Well, mine started about 20 years ago.
Mm.
And I was probably journaling before the sort of fatty term of journaling came into being.
Yeah.
As a teenager, because I would write down my thoughts, especially when I had my first boyfriend and he broke up with me.
Oh.
And I would write all these horrible things down.
Yeah.
Life was over as I knew it.
Yeah.
And that was a form of journaling because it was an expression of my inner voice,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So anyway, about 20 years ago, I really started to get into the thought of every single day I would journal.
Oh,
I would
yeah.
write down the good, the bad, and the ugly that was happening to me. And some days it was all good, which was fantastic. But, sometimes it was one sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Had a really awesome day today. Felt great.
Yeah.
Some days it was pages and pages of diatribe.
Oh, yeah.
It was all the emotions just coming to the surface.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just write out everything. And what I love about journaling is that it's mine. It's not for anybody else's eyeballs.
Yeah.
And so I would write anything and everything down. It's kind of like my therapist.
Uh-huh.
I'm self-theraping. That's not even a word.
Good enough. I knew what she meant.
How about you?
So for me, it is a much different process than just letting it run around in my head.
Mm-hmm.
I use it as a way to do a brain dump, so the stuff stops running around in my head.
Right.
So I'm worried about something or someone,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm feeling emotional about it, and I don't have any solutions on how to solve it or fix it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that if I just write down everything I am thinking and feeling, at the end I have a sense of, there's some sense of satisfaction.
There is. Yes.
You have that too?
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that I have
And release.
Release, like I've expressed something.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I go back and read it.
Good.
Most times I don't. It's really, for me, is actually the physicality of getting it out of me and onto a paper. It's a different brain process than just this running around. And it does help, it helps calm my mind.
It does, and I love the way that you were talking about it releases things. And it takes some chatter away from
does.
up here that's occupying too much of your head.
Yeah.
Right? And so when you've got it down on paper, it's like it is a dump.
Yeah.
And it's an emotional dump, it's a spiritual dump, it's a physical dump. I like to look at mine every week.
Oh,
So
you
at
do?
the end of the week, I will recap what I've written. And I go, whoa, wait. I up and down and all around. And it just takes me on this journey.
Yeah.
And I go, okay, so the things that I was really stressing about that day,
Yeah.
I don't even feel it now. And that was only a few days ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
And what's helpful about that? The rereading I'm curious about.
What's really helpful is I can see what kind of journey I was on.
Yeah.
Because I like to know the method behind the madness behind everything,
Sure.
including myself, what's inside.
Sure, yeah, how this works. How does this work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How it's all coming out on paper. And
Yeah.
because we're writers as well.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice to express it on the page. But what it does is by rereading it,
Yeah.
I can see what was bothering me and I can see what I did to let go.
Mm-hmm.
And then some things I didn't let go of. And I go, oh, you're still there. I was talking to you about this like about a month ago, and you're still there. So I'm writing about it.
It's like a learning process for you.
It is
yourself.
It is. It's a reflection back on what was going on. It's not that I'm living in the past, because I always live in the present and look forward to the future. That's something else we're going to talk about in another show.
Yeah.
But it gave me a sense of, this is what I was going through. This is what I dealt with. This is what I overcame.
Yeah.
First of all, good on you.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit of, hey, way to go. Or, you're still kind of dealing with this, and you still need to keep writing about this, or you know, doing meditations and all the other things to release.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like my day-to-day life.
Like taking stock.
Taking stock.
Taking stock could be a way to say it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason why I do that.
Mm-hmm. I found it to be
it's a progress thing for me.
Yeah. So progress. So that's so you're learning. You're moving forward with your life.
Yeah, and celebrating those little wins.
Yeah.
Because I'll even journal. You know, last week I was thinking this and this and this, and then I'll go, but it's gone now. Yay.
Yeah.
Celebration or a shout out to me.
Right. Yeah.
And those little wins, sometimes we need those little wins for ourselves.
Of course, because
right?
it's bolstering. You got to give yourself a pat on the back.
Exactly.
Yep.
So what else about journaling for you?
Well, I realized, I was journaling last night.
Mm-hmm.
I realized that I'm in a big process right now of spending time with my, I'll call it inner child.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
And we'll get into that in the next video.
Yes.
And so really that's just to me a cluster of memories from childhood.
Right.
It's just a way of saying it in a succinct way.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot I'm feeling, and then I'm realizing I've been feeling a lot and kind of really driven in the last couple of years, and I realized it was since my mom passed away. Mm-hmm. And then I realized, well, you know, how much has happened even in the last 10 years? Mm-hmm. And so what I did, and I don't dwell in the past, except when it's up in the present and presenting itself. I don't go digging.
Going, hello, I'm back again.
Yes, I'm still here.
Mm-hmm. Deal with me.
You've worked on this and healed it, this part of yourself, and yet there's always layers. There's always going to be more. And so I realized this part was presenting itself for me to look at. And I thought, well, what kinds of things have maybe challenged this inner child, scared part of myself in the last 10 years? And I wrote down a bunch of stuff, including having a hysterectomy myself, my sister having breast cancer and recovering. She's doing great.
Good.
You know, we moved, just lots of, there were about 10 major life things, and including my mom passing away 2 years ago, my dad passing away 12 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I thought, wow, you've been doing a good job dealing with a lot of things. Yeah. And it's time to be gentle now with this part of myself that just remembers at 3 that how difficult life was. Because I broke my collarbone at that point, and I think I was just pretty scared of the world. Like, it was so confusing. Mm-hmm. So I thought, well, I don't need to know all the details. It's just probably wasn't very happy at that point, and that kind of fear is sitting within me. So I just find if I write down about it, it just kind of goes, okay, good. It's like it's come up, it wanted to be seen, it's released, and then I can let it go. That helps me to actually writing about a bunch of past stuff. Sometimes just helps me let go of it. It's like, okay, that was expressed out.
Exactly.
Let it go, and let's have a great day.
Yeah, I love that. You know, one of the things that I do is I keep 2 journals. I keep one journal that is just my gratitude journal. And every morning and every night, I write down what I'm grateful for. And it's wonderful to go back into this thing, I must say. It's like a happy, happy place.
Aww.
It's like when I'm feeling kind of blah, I open up my gratitude journal.
You know,
yay!
I like that idea. I'm going to get myself a gratitude journal.
And then I have my main journal, of which there are like tons of these books.
Yeah.
And that's when I do all the rest of the stuff. Now, there's some gratitudes in here and other stuff like that.
There's everything in there.
But I just really like keeping a separate gratitude journal.
Yeah, I like that.
And I'll even take it on the plane when I'm flying.
Nice.
And, you know, I'm glad we're flying and we're safe and we landed safe. Yeah. Whatever I want to write. It's just kind of nice to have that separated. I don't know why I do that. I just do that.
Yeah. I like the positivity book.
Yeah, the positivity book. That's exactly what it is.
It gives you a boost. Being grateful for things gives us a boost.
just gets that serotonin going.
It does. It gets the serotonin going.
Pumping, and you just feel great. So, anyway, I think we've had enough on journaling right now, have we?
That feels complete to me for this moment.
That's beautiful. So thank you for joining us for Crysalyst Life.
Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed this episode about journaling. We strongly encourage you, if you don't already, go grab a pad of paper or your computer or get some fun books, whatever you feel like. I've got all different colored ones.
Yep.
And just start writing. Mm-hmm. It's so therapeutic.
Start anywhere. It doesn't have to be organized. Nobody else is going to read it.
No.
Start anywhere. Begin with whatever. Trust yourself, whatever the first thought is, and just go.
That's right. It's your personal journey. So thanks again for joining us.
Thank you. We love you. And
scene.
It's a
ciao,
wrap.
ciao.
It's
Thank you. Mwah. Sending you love.